blaming white people for slavery and tearing down the statutes of slave dealers and slave traders, you must not forget one simple fact. It was Africans that sold their own people before the white man came. Before the Europeans came, we used to sell to the Arabs. We used to sell to the Arabs. When that one closed, the Pope announced you can go to Africa and take slaves. They started coming to West Africa, and we obliged them. The home Badagry was emptied. Along the entire coast was emptied. All the way to Gabon, emptied of our people. There are the blacks that are still being killed in America till this very day. That is the history of our people. And upon this very simple foundation are we going to the entire broadcast tonight for you to understand that the difficulties we're encountering, the problems we're having on a daily basis is down to the very simple fact that we don't know how to take care of one another. We don't understand it. We don't say to ourselves, is what we are doing inimical to the advancement of our people or not? We don't do that. We don't do it. And in IPOB or Radio Biafra, we tell ourselves the raw, painful truth that we may learn from it and advance. And that's what we're doing tonight. Now listen very carefully. Our problem is this. Because we are fighting for liberation. Everybody wants to be free. Absolutely everyone. Oduduwa wants to be free. Middle Belt wants to be free. Hausa wants to be free. Kanuri wants to. Everybody in the abominable contraption, the zoo, wants to be free. Now ask yourselves, why are you not free? It's because of the greed of some people. Other people, the governor. So if freedom for our people means that I will no longer be called Her Excellency or His Excellency, then to hell with freedom for everybody. This is a typical slave master. That is how they behave. Because I'm a senator. And if freedom means dissolving the whole of the zoo called Nigeria, if dissolving Nigeria will bring freedom to people, then I don't want that freedom. Because now it's my turn. I'm going to be here for 8 years. I am a senator. I want to make that money that others have made before me. This is how they reason. I want the world to understand that even in a place like Nigeria, even in an abominable contraption that the white man created, the same white man that came to take you, created a nation for you and you accepted, the same people who are there today, they are the architect, they are their own worst enemies. That is how a black man reasons. When I say it, somebody wrote to me angrily and said, you are promoting white, supremacy. And I said, no, you are being very ignorant. I'm telling you, can you forward anything I say? Forget about the delivery of the message. Can you forward anything I say? He told me I cannot forward it. I said, then what is your problem? That's the thing about black people. They don't want to learn, correct their mistakes, and move on. I'm asking you, somebody said that I will not allow, I know that every pundit in the world, every commentator, every analyst, everybody knows that for there to be freedom for all, Nigeria has to fall. Nigeria has to fall. They know it. Once you dissolve the zoo, Nigeria, everybody will be free. They know it very well. Even a rat, a cockroach, Ochicha knows about this. Now ask yourself, why is that not happening? Because there are people with vested interests. Oh, you're telling me I'll be here and Nigeria will collapse. Once Nigeria collapses, that means I will no longer be making money. That means I may lose my house in Katsina. I'm an Igbo man. I'm in Sokoto. That means my shop. But in that his shop, he'll be there one day. He will be killed inside his shop. His neighbors have been killed. He can see it very clearly. Now, that is the way that black people reason. That is what we have come to do, to let them understand that if you continue to reason this way, there can never be any improvement in your life. Impossible. And they have their agents. There are people, ask anybody of a sound mind, what is it about Nigeria that you want to keep Nigeria as one? What is it that Nigeria is absolutely nothing unless they are corrupt, their politicians or their agents, or they are hoping that their village will get their own turn in the year 2099? Is that how human beings are supposed to behave? Is that how people with brain is supposed to behave, I ask? Do you now see that the problem of black people is black people and not white people? White people are doing what they are supposed to do. It is called taking advantage. That is how life is. That is how human nature works. You made yourselves commodities and they came and they bought you. They took you by force. You put yourself in that position. That is what our sister is writing about. And that is the truth. Have we begged the world? Have you seen black people gather together and go to America and beg black Americans? Kneel down. People are doing, taking the knee. You see Nancy Pelosi. You see a few world leaders, kneeling down in deference to Black Lives Matter. The people, the real culprits, we Africans are the real criminals, the real culprits in it. Have we ever gone to America to say to Americans, please, black Americans, we are sorry for what our ancestors did. What they did is absolutely, it's abominable, it is horrible, it is terrible. We've not done it. Because we don't like taking responsibility. Not at all. People, because of political ambition, you want to run for office. I had a lawyer once representing me when I was incarcerated. And they asked him, he said his business is not about if Nnamdi is out or not, or dies in prison. He wants to go and contest for House of Reps. And he used my name to get close to the governor of Enugu State so he can go and contest for House of Reps. Those are black people for you. That comes to what I want to preach tonight. The lack of consistency in black people. They never believe in one thing and believe in that thing. They keep going. They keep going no matter the obstacle. They keep going. After a while, they just fall by the wayside. Very fickle-minded, very feeble. We lack discipline. We lack discipline, and we lack dedicated focus. Why do you think IPOB is a phenomenon all over the world? Everybody talks about IPOB for good or for bad. It's up to them. But you must discuss us. You must talk about us. You must. Because we have a stranglehold over you. Do you know why? Do you know why you must discuss IPOB, Nnamdi, Biafra every day? Do you know why? Because we are resolutely dedicated to the pursuit of freedom for Biafra and for every other trapped ethnic nationality in the damnable zoological republic. And do you know the funniest thing? Is that the people we are fighting for, they know this. Even the Hausa man knows. If you ask him, a Hausa man will tell you, Nnamdi is fighting for me. I feel this fight. Somebody in Yoruba will tell you something because they understand. They can look beyond all the noise basically and understand what we stand for. And we have been doing it consistently. No amount of intimidation, no amount of extrajudicial killings, no amount of bribery, no amount of cajoling, nothing is going to, and they know it. Our enemies, they understand. That is why they're afraid of us. And they must be. Who are you not to be afraid of IPOB? Who are you? You must be afraid of us. Is it because we kill? No, we don't. Do we have guns? Are we militants? Of course we do. We don't have any guns. We're not militants. But ask yourself, why are they afraid of a group of people, a nation of unarmed people? Within it lies all the answer to your paranoia. Within it. We are not focused. We are easily distracted by rubbish. Every person rubbish. We get distracted by it. George Hill once said, and somebody posted it a few days ago, if you throw stone at every barking dog on your way to something very important, you will never get to your destination. Every idiotic dog that comes out, and idiot that speaks, you respond. How can you be focused and focus on the enemy? That is what the enemy wants you to do, to become distracted. Our focus at all is as rock. Our focus is the collapse of Asarok. You don't shake from it. You don't allow yourself to become diverted. You remain focused like a laser beam because it's empty. Empty. We must focus on that thing that we have come for, which is freedom. That is number one. Everything else is secondary and inconsequential. Some idiots, they thought my absence for a few days is an opportunity for them to showcase their stupidity and power-hungry tendencies. Let me see the idiot. I have come. Let me see the fool. Or should I say fools? People who are not disciplined. Who are not disciplined. It's only in Africa you have somebody that a civilian president appointed and promoted him or her to a major general position, or maybe as a brigadier general. And after 2 days, they plot a coup. That is the idiotic thing about, that is the stupid thing about black people in Africa. And a black man thinks, if I'm holding AK-47, I can now rule everybody. They all went to school where a general will kneel down before a civilian president. They learned nothing. They will never learn anything. That is the thing about black people. And that is why we seek for freedom for Biafra. We want to build a nation that the world will look at and they will marvel. They will say, my goodness, we never thought that blacks can do such a thing. That is why we preach to you the way we do. That is why we are uncompromising in the way we lecture you about what you need to know before we go into Biafra. Because Biafra cannot be like the zoo. Our sister posted earlier today that even these days that men gossip more than women. I said, yes, when you're born under the bridge in Ojala, what do you expect? Near a dustbin, a stinking dustbin. What do you expect? Those of us that grew up in the village, we have no time for such rubbish. No time for such nonsense. Who are you that will talk about you? It's only idiots that talk about human beings. Great people talk about ideas. That is what we're doing in IPOB. That idea is freedom for Biafra. Nothing else. If you stand in front of us, we'll crush you completely and totally. Those but they ran away, didn't they? The so-called youths running against them, they ran away. When IPOB came, just for burial, they ran away. And we'll catch them one by one. And we'll set example with them that other people may learn. That other fallen fathered bastards in our land, they will learn. I have an example will be set to our back that others will learn. That next time when we speak, they listen. What happened yesterday was just a preamble. They should keep running because we'll get them. They want you to engage Fulefus and forget about Hatorok, which is where we're heading to. That's about focus on rock, the collapse of it. Not any, forget about Fulefu, traitors what they're saying around you. That was how they deceived us for very many years. It's the minority. South and the southeast. Southeast, Bendel, and Delta. The Delta to Niger Delta. Nobody knows who or she is anymore. Any name they give you, you take. Every rubbish that comes, you accept. Every nonsense, every garbage. Oh, they hate you. Oh, do you know that it's on the hate Igbo man? Do you know Igbo hates Igbo? And I said, who told you that? Who told you? You accept every garbage they give you. And housefly, you know how much we hate housefly? Housefly, where we come from? Everybody hates flies, we hate it. If you're eating and a fly perches on any part of your gari or apple, you quickly cut it out, or even rice, you take that bit that the fly perched on and you throw it away. I want you to listen to what I'm saying now very, very carefully about flies, because Sabo and traitors, they're like flies. Those who are just buzzing around, they're like flies. I want you to understand this very carefully. When you're eating in the village, or anywhere for that matter, and a fly perches on any part of your food, what do? You cut out that part of the food and throw it away because you feel it's contaminated. Yes? Good. But remember this. Despite this very fact that we don't want flies around us, a fly is as stupid as to fall into a keg or barrel of palm wine. What do? Do we throw the palm wine away? No. We quietly
This one I'm boring again. Boring.
Filter out the flies and proceed to drink that simple wine. Because that is an indication that that wine is very healthy. Anytime you see sabo buzzing around your ears, know that what you're doing is great. We are the only freedom fighting movement standing, not just in Biafra land, not just in the Zoological Republic, the whole of Africa as a whole, only IPOB standing, bearing this very standard of freedom and hope for every single black person on the face of the earth. You drink that wine. We never throw away my wine because a fly fell into it. No. But remember, if that same fly touches your food, you will take that part of your food and you throw it away. That is what all these detractors are trying to do to you. When they fall into your wine, as I do, palm wine, you filter them out. You drink it. Don't say why you drink it. To tell them that they are nothing. That's how you're supposed to be here, because you're IPOB. You are chosen by God Almighty in heaven to fight for the freedom of not just yourself, but every oppressed black person on the face of the earth. And we are not going to accomplish it through sentiments. It is not something you do by mere wishful thinking. It is something you accomplish by doing that which is right. Remain focused and disciplined. Don't allow yourself that. Of course not. Of course not. The same goes for Sabo. You need saboteurs to make you appreciate how potent IPOB is. Because for us, they cannot come. If that wine is not good, the fly can never come close to it. Do you understand that? That was like somebody once, they said that a fly is like a poison tester for you. In the olden days, elders would watch a fly. Any food they perch on and die, that food, a human cannot consume it. Are you aware of that? Daddy, do you know you cannot drink perfume? If you open, a vial of perfume, not to go into too much, because that is the advantage of growing up in the village. When you grow up in the village, you know a lot of things. When you grow up under a bridge somewhere, I feel sorry for you. And some of you, that you travel abroad, that's the bye-bye now. What do you know? Not absolutely nothing. The only thing that ties you to Biafra is just your name. Apart from your name, you are not a Biafran. Not. You need people to remind you as to how potent you are. Without all these professional gossipers, you're nobody. That's to tell you how mighty IPOB is. The whole world over. That is why we managed to bring the zoo down to its knees. The people they call miscreants, all manner of names. What haven't they called us before? Today, the zoo is on its knees because of what God Almighty is doing with IPOB. We are the people that stopped the zoo. For people who do not know, we are IPOB. We are the ones that stopped the zoo, Nigeria, from having a president. They have no president. Do they have one? Let him come out and do a live interview. Let him address Nigerians live. Let him address the inhabitants of the zoo, Niger area. Do you know why? IPOB. Who says you're not powerful? Don't know how strong you are. You have no idea. Why do you think they want to distract attention? Because you're mighty. Because of this IPOB, the world has no regard for the zoo. They are crying. No one has any regard for them. We are simply unstoppable, and our enemies understand this. I'm ashamed that some of us spend time responding to inconsequential idiots that nobody has ever heard about. The only reason why you hear about these fools is because they mention IPOB. You have to mention, to be relevant, you have to mention IPOB, or else you're nobody. You are nobody. If you want contract in Abuja, you castigate IPOB in Nnamdi. Get ahead in life, you must say something bad about Biafra. That is how powerful we are. That without our names, nobody will know who these idiots are. That's how powerful you are, if you don't know. Ask them, talk about yourself. They won't exist. Never exist. Nobody will know them. That's how strong we are. How powerful we are. We are unstoppable. Absolutely that. Parasites will come. They need our name to shine. We must ignore them and watch them disappear. Our firepower from tonight is going to be focused on the zoo and nothing else. Some of you are foolishly engaging idiots that have no standing and no reckoning. Absolutely none whatsoever. Our future, if we continue this way, is going to be like that of the departed Ezekiel's work. For those who don't know about the danger that the zoo Nigeria portends, if you want to know how damaging Nigeria is to an average, sensible human being, the story of the late engineer Ezekiel's work is a timely reminder. Or the Yoruba girl that was killed, the helicopter pilot. Some of you are aware of all these things. Why did these people die? Ask yourself that. Because of a place called Nigeria. In any other place in the world, they'll still be alive and thriving. In any other place, Ezekiel Israel will be like Henry Ford. Somebody built. Do you know that the fact that you're driving a car today, or let me just say, in the 40s or in the 50s or in the 60s, was because of a man called Henry Ford. Do you know what Henry Ford did? Henry Ford commercialized automobile production. He industrialized it. He made cars affordable for ordinary people. And that was why he was voted the capitalist, or should I say the businessman of the 20th century. Henry Ford. We have here in Ezekiel's work, we have our own Henry Ford. But because he's a Biafran, because he's blessed, and unfortunately he found himself in a British contraption called Nigeria. His life ended in failure, not for him personally, but for the society. Now he's dead because he's a Nigerian. And all the support and help he should have received, all that support and help, they are now in hotel buildings in Dubai, in plush mansions in London, in Swiss bank accounts. Why? Because of Nigeria. And that is why we want it to fall, by all means. Is this the future you want for your... Look at your child. Some of you have very bright children, boys and girls, who wants to be engineers, who want to create something, technicians, they want to build something. Maybe some of them are right now, showcasing their talent. Look at his work. I want to let you know that as long as Nigeria exists, Nigeria, as long as Nigeria is existing, you can never attain your full potential unless you're a criminal in politics. They are the only ones who attain their life's ambition, which is to loot and to keep looting. That is the pinnacle of success in the zoo, is how much you have stolen. Ezekiel's work is dead. Is that the future? This is a man that in any sane society, they would have nurtured him. Everybody right now who could afford a car would have a car. Very peacefully. There will be taxes rolling in. There will be export potential for the car, the automobiles that he's making. His name will be on the car, his work. Maybe. The white people, they had a man called Henry Ford. That man went on. Even Daimler. Remember Daimler? Daimler Benz, yes? These are human beings. They are not angels from heaven. They are fellow human beings. If you cut their skin, you see red blood coming out. In their own land, because they are white people, they appreciate something good. They were not taught. Today, some of you ride a Ford pickup. You're having fun, but you have your own talent, your own engineer, your own God-given automobile expert. He died in regret, misery, and pain. And that is the type of country you want me to belong to? Hey, please, for goodness sake. If you want the future of your child to be like that of Ezekiel's work, then all well and good. The ability to live as free men and women in a land where the struggles of this world can flourish and thrive is what we are pursuing. In Biafra land, every talent. You know, in the zoo, it's only their children or politicians. It's only their child that is good enough for anything, for scholarship, for anything. How many times have they set up any kind of competition? Let's say science competition. To say the best science student who gets scholarship to MIT, they will never do it. You see that they don't have the money. Of course, the money is there. They are using it to go and buy mansions in Dubai. Is that the type of country you want? These are the type of people you want us to respect? Huh? The likes of Trump telling you the truth, they are the ones that love you. Black people, we want people to massage our ego, even when we are failing. Someone say, oh, you're doing very well. Oh, black and proud. You're black and beautiful. All rubbish. Pure rubbish. It's not true. It's not true. And you know it's not true. Ezekiel is dead. If had the US government frustrated Henry Ford the same way that Nigeria frustrated Ezekiel Iswag because he's a Biafran, the history of mass production of automobile different. White people nurture creativity. Black people, they kill it. Somebody said they're doing it to develop kilishi. They're doing kilishi. People think that we just woke up one morning and decided to hate Nigeria. They don't like Nigeria. They're trying to bring the nation down. And I'm asking you a very simple question. Which other people in this world, like Ezekiel is work, and allow him to die like this without fulfilling his potential? So now his death is gone back to his maker. The God that brought him to bring automobile to black people in Africa, how do you think that God will feel now? The God that brought it said, I have given talent to every nation. To you, black people in Africa, I'm giving you Ezekiel his work. Take him, nurture him, let him build cars for you. Some of you are saying, oh, I'm trekking too much. My mother is trekking in the village. I'm struggling. How do I get a car? But God gave you somebody who's a car by nature. What did you do to him? What did you people do to the person that the Africans, Africa's version of Henry Ford? What did you do to him? Because he's a Biafran. Because an Igbo man. And you want me to love Nigeria, to support Nigeria. Do you see how foolish you sound? All of you talking rubbish. I saw some idiots today talking nonsense about Nigeria. Are you not ashamed of yourselves? Where is Ezekiel Iswoko today? Where is he? Where is he? Nowhere to be found. And please don't say nothing. He doesn't assemble cars. He assembles the parts of the cars. Iswoko fabricates the parts of the cars that he built. The car that he built, he fabricated them. So there's a difference from car assembly to car maker. A car maker is not somebody who owns an assembly plant, no. He fabricated all the materials that he used. For your information, there is something satanic in the brain of certain, I will not say all, certain black people. Satan dwells in them. Satan dwells in them. And it's a good thing that they can't see Biafra, of course. They know they can't. So those of you who accuse me of promoting white supremacist agenda, you can now understand how foolish you sound and how foolish you are. Because I weep for your ignorance. To a typical black man, truth is always very bitter to swallow. I am delighted because this very evening, my voice is being heard across every major part of the world, including Efik and Ekom land, and into Amazonia, so they understand who their brothers are. Because I foresee in the future that Amazonia and Biafra will go into some kind of an alliance and federation. What was the name of his car again? Z600 it was called. The name of the car that he manufactured. Z600. Very, very sad indeed. He is Africa's foremost car inventor and manufacturer. Manufacturer, they say assembly plant, no. Manufacturer. There's a difference. Unbelievable. And people are running all over the place and talking nonsense about this Nigeria, our country, our place. And I said to them, you talking about some stupid president. How many times have you seen him? How many times have you seen your so-called president? I said, how many times have you seen him? How many times you live? COVID-19 is ravaging the whole world. How many times has he come out live to preach, to speak, to talk to you? None. That means there's nobody there. But you are blinded by ignorance and the damnation from Satan that you cannot see. You are blind, you cannot see. Zoo animals. You cannot reason, you cannot see. The same garbage every blessed day. Who would want their daughter to enroll in an army where Boko Haram recruits are the officers? I ask you, because there is a Yoruba girl that was killed. Women becoming teachers and doctors and even talk less of being a helicopter pilot. And in that same environment, these Boko Haram people are being recruited into the army where you look at how Usu people reason. The same, why you say that Boko Haram and Iswap, why are they fighting? They want Islamic rule. And in Islam, in their own version of Islam, so to speak, are women allowed to become helicopter pilots? The answer is no. Then why are you recruiting Boko Haram into the army where you have female pilots and female officers? Simple question. Can you answer it? No, of course you can't. You're a zoo animal. Nigeria. What do you know? Your brains are empty. What is wrong with you people that common sense eludes you Nigerians? Nigerians, you people cannot reason. You can't. Oh my goodness. Why can't people reason by understanding that only Biafra can set all of you free? Do you think we are doing what we are doing just for ourselves? We want everybody to be free. Absolutely everybody. Not just Biafrans. We want to set everybody free. Up to and even including Janjaweed. We want everybody to be free. You cannot become free unless the shoe is down. Unless Nigeria ceases to exist. As Nigeria, that's the proper pronunciation. Not Nigeria is the from Nigeria. It sounds okay. The proper name is Nigeria. If you go to Germany, give anybody in Germany, give a German your passport and say, please, where do you think I come from? He will call you Nigeria. You're Nigerian. A nigger from a nigger area. That is who you are. Double nigger. That's who you are. That's why you have, in the original pronunciation, you have double G. In the original spelling, double G, double nigger from a nigger area. A Yoruba girl was killed. We will talk about this thing now, and it will become a social media phenomenon for a few days, and after that, we all forget. Typical black people, that's how we are. After a few days, we all forget. We all forget. The death of Tolupe Arotile was not an accident. She was murdered. She was killed. An army officer, Yoruba girl, a mathematician. That in any other place in the world, she will be somewhere receiving government grant and trying to find solution to the power shortage. She is a mathematician. Everything in life is mathematics, if you know that. But that will be a topic for another day. She was killed because of her audacity to conduct full combat missions against Boko Haram. I've told you before, they believe in their own walk through kind of Islam, that if you're killed by a woman, you cannot meet 72 virgins in heaven. You cannot go to heaven. If you're a man and you're killed by a woman, your life is, in fact, you will be recruited into the army to fight terrorists and bandits. Instead, she was killed in the barracks by those who are sympathetic to the ideals and ideas and philosophy and of terrorists. I want people to understand it and digest it very well. She was killed. This Yoruba girl was murdered because she had the audacity to go into an aircraft to go and be unleashing bombs on men. That's why they killed her. Do you understand? Are you still a proud Nigerian? Are you still proud of Nigeria? She wasn't killed in the battlefield. No, not at all. She was killed in the barracks. Do you know what that means? You people, I feel sorry. I don't know what is wrong with black people. Why can't we reason? You have a Boko Haram, you have a terrorist group with a very warped mindset about the position of women in a society, and you're recruiting those people into the army. And in that army that you're recruiting these terrorists into, you have women who are serving. And you're telling me that people are sensible, that they're reasonable? Is that what you're telling me? She's dead. All they will do, maybe they'll give the parents her salary for 2 months, probably around 80,000 naira, less than 200 pounds. They'll give that to the family. People will say, oh, we are sorry, we are going to investigate all these things, and nobody does nothing. It's over. She's dead. all the money. Even they said they have paid her. It's not enough to cover her school fees at secondary school level. So the parents gave birth to this girl, trained her. She's a mathematician, very, very bright and intelligent. And her life just ended like that. I know she's hand up as a soldier. She may die in combat, yes, but not to be killed in the barracks. That's what happened to her. Go and tell her parents about one Nigeria and see what they will do to you. This is the zoo. In a country, the people she's fighting, their comrades are her fellow officers in the army. Do you understand? Because she's serving alongside the so-called rebellion they have done. They've killed her. And the zoo, as usual, what will happen? Nothing. They will say there's an inquiry. We've stopped an inquiry. We are going to get to the bottom of this, and nothing happened. Nothing will ever happen. Absolutely nothing will happen. That is how the zoo operates. And that is why we hate them with a passion. And as this evil is happening every blessed day, that is one thing about Nigerians I don't understand. God created human beings to have brain, to be able to reason. And I keep every day as I wake up, when I see the behavior of black people, I keep asking myself, is it, God, are you sure that there was no mistake somewhere? Your God did not make mistakes, we know that. But are you sure that there's something didn't go wrong somewhere? Do you know that this situation of insecurity in the zoo is so bad that today John killed 7 children? I want to be factually correct. Absolutely correct. It was reported yesterday. It happened yesterday. Explosion killed 7 children. If this thing were to happen anywhere else in the world apart from the zoo, believe you me, CNN, everybody, Al Jazeera, it will be everywhere. That is why I want to let people understand about who really hates you and who loves you. They won't talk about this news because they are benefiting from the corruption that Nigeria is. Nigeria, the corruption that Nigeria, 7 children killed. It is not international news. Who killed them, you would ask? Who killed 7 children? An improvised explosive device. You see, when the dead Buhari was alive, they were plotting all these things to how to take over other areas. They never learned when an army from the north came to Biafra land to take Biafra land 300 years ago, and what happened to them? You see, they forgot one thing. They thought that the loss of Biafra between 67 and 70 somehow was a signal that they can go on and take over the whole of Biafra land. But you see, I am saying this to the feudal lords, the Janjaweed, those who control the Fulani Caliphate. This is something they don't know. There is something very special about Biafra. God may punish us with you or with Britain as he did before you came, so that we can return back to him. Not that so he can come to occupy our land. The more you have this design in your brain to take over the whole of the South, to take Yoruba land, to take Biafra land, and bring in every Janjaweed in West Africa to come and reside, the more you lose your own land. That's what is happening to you. You have come to kill other people, but there are those you left behind who are not killing your own children. It's happening in Katsina, the state where the dead Buhari, I said dead, late dead Buhari comes from. Any idiot telling you otherwise is deceiving you. They know Buhari is dead. They're all covering it out of shame. So they will not say, oh, Nnamdi was right. That's all. That is all. They know Buhari. Everybody. Who doesn't know that? That the mass murderer is dead. Today, 7 children are dead in his hometown. And you're telling me that the old Buhari will be dead, he will not say anything. 7 children killed in his own hometown. You people are truly daft. You Nigerians, you niggers from the zoo, you are truly daft. Daft beyond recognition. Daft. 7 children are dead. And Nigeria, let's make it better. People are dying every day. The young pilot is dead. Kalu is dead. Your soldiers are being slaughtered in Boko Haram territories. Bandits are ravaging you every day. Fulani terrorism, yet allies everywhere, killing you, taking over your land. And you have the temerity to wake up and say, Nigeria, we will fix it if we restructure it, if we do this, if we our governors. You people you have abandoned the real issue. There is a saying where I come from, in the village. You abandon the main problem itself, which is that as long as this Nigeria remains one, you will die. You will perish. You will die. Your children will die. Your fathers will die. Your mothers will die. Your uncles will die. And nothing will be done about it. Dead. Isuoko, dead. In the zoo. Nobody is reaching their potential. Only looters and criminals. Only criminals in political office. Only them attain the height of their profession. Every other person is suffering. And you wake up in the morning and you go to the television station. And Nigeria, I believe in multi-diversity, in multiculturalism, talking garbage and trash that you don't know about. That's how foolish some of you are. Daft some of you are. And you claim you went to school. What sort of school is that you went to? What sort of school? 7 children are dead. It doesn't touch you. It doesn't affect you because they're not your children. You don't care. That is that wickedness in a black man that is keeping Africa in perpetual poverty. There is this wicked in a black man. Wickedness and evil. Evil. 7 children dead. Children, not adolescents, not teenagers. Children dead. You're not moved. You're a black man or black, not touched. How evil can you people get? How horrible. If you don't destroy Nigeria, Nigeria will destroy all of you. Let me everything I tell you, write it down and the date down. Every prophecy I give is accurate 100%. Nigeria will kill all of you. You watch and see. The idea is fooling yourselves around. Allow that primordial, destructive instinct in a black man, envy, greed, and jealousy to destroy all of you. In the zoo, it will swallow you. This is when Buhari was alive, because he's a hard man, he's a general. Look at insecurity in his own compound. 7 children killed. And some of you cannot reason very well. Because to you, the little envy inside you is more important than you express it. It's more important for you to express your envious nature than to fight the evil that is in front of you. Hopeless people everywhere. Is that over? That's a casino. Let us go to Kanu. State by state, in the zoo. What is happening in Kanu? Bandits stormed the home in Kanu of a lawmaker and the 17-year-old daughter. Do you think he's going to see the daughter again? He's in Kanu. They are the one Nigeria people. Let's have one Nigeria. They don't know that if you have an Arewa nation or a Hausa people are big enough to be a nation of their own, do you think this nonsense will happen? Of course not. Of course not. Because you've allowed everybody to pick up AK-47. Nobody's complaining of no. But watch the day now that IPOB will come out to defend our land. You will see them, their mouth will start running like a broken tap. You say in the north, 17-year-old girl gone from the home of a lawmaker. I still want Nigeria, yes? You love Nigeria, don't you? The girl is gone, never to come back. Like Leah, right? They're gone. She's gone. She will give birth to offsprings of terrorists for the rest of her life. 17 years. She's too old. By this time next year, she will give birth to the first child. You love one Nigeria, don't you? Do you see how foolish all of you are? Do you see how daft all of you are? One Nigerian is. How foolish you are. One day they come and take your own child, and all we can say is, "Oh, it's bad. Do something now." Reshuffle the defense chiefs. Talking garbage as always, garbage. But your child is gone. That is the thing about that's the big difference between white people and black people. Whites will sit down, analyze,